DreAllDay.com.
Now tuned in to the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there, even when the success you've expected to achieve is yet to occur. And on top of all this, you get a huge dose of personal initiative. What is that? That is the go-getter energy that moves all of us, including yourself, especially yourself, to go and make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. And then we put all this together into one bundle, one package, one mindset, one method, one philosophy, one book, one show, one daily masterclass. That is what you're listening to right now. And we call this Work on Your Game. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. And today's topic is how you turn attention into revenue. Now you got people paying attention to you, you got people looking, you have people listening, they're giving you at least a little bit of their focus. How can you turn it into some revenue as far as for your business? Now, before I go into explaining where this topic came from, a little bit more about it, and getting into our points, let me tell you that I have a text message line where I want you to send me a text message and tell me the best insight, the best idea, the best new practice that you got from what you are hearing today. Is it something that you're going to do different or think different based on what you heard here today? My number is 305-384-6894. Again, 305-384-6894. Once you text me there, not only will you be able to engage with me, and yes, I will respond to you, you will also get my daily motivation text message that I send out every single morning, something to keep you focused, sharp, on point, positive, forward thinking every single day. Again, my number is also down below in the show notes in case you forgot it. So this topic, how to turn attention into revenue. Now, where I live here in South Florida, I'm outside often, and often when I'm in busy areas, I'll see people, and these people appear to be, I don't have conversations with them usually, but they appear to be entrepreneurs, people who are, or freelancers, or people who are just looking to draw some attention to themselves from the passerby that are in the area, because I live in an area that is heavy in foot traffic. So people are always walking around. It's Miami, so it's nice outside, and there are businesses around, so people are always outside walking around. So others see the opportunity there. They say, all right, there's all this foot traffic in this area. Let's go out here with our product or our idea or our performance, whatever it happens to be. There's all kinds of stuff that happens out here. And they are looking to draw this passerby attention. And I'm sure that getting that attention, because I've seen people be very successful in getting that attention, and I'm sure it's both ego boosting and validating for them. Like, okay, we got people looking, we got people paying attention to us, people are noticing us. But at the same time, if you are in business, you eventually have to sell something. Like we just talked about in yesterday's masterclass, that having the discipline and the urgency in the organization is, all of those things are important. The reason why you do those things is so you can consistently sell the thing that you're selling, because you're in business to make money. We live in a capitalistic society, at least as of this recording we do. So you're in business, you eventually got to sell something for it to make sense. For the audience, those people, to actually get some real value from you, is not just paying attention to you that gives them value, it's actually getting something from you, and for you to get value for the time, money, attention, energy, focus you put into drawing that attention, and whatever it is you did, whatever it is you created or have developed that leads you to even want attention. You put a lot into that, a lot of investment into that. So you want to get something in exchange for that, right? So a sale has to happen. So these folks who I see outside doing all kinds of stuff, I see people dancing, I see people with some kind of product, some strange contraptions that look different from anything that I have ever seen before, and they get people to stop and look and ask questions, and people who will just stop people on the street and talk to them. Again, I see all kinds of stuff happening out here in these mean streets. But I don't know if they're selling anything. I don't know if they're trying to sell anything. I don't know exactly what their goals are. So this episode is not an indictment or criticism of them, because like I said, I don't know them, but I just see them. But seeing them sparked the idea that I want to share here today about when you do get attention, when you have garnered attention successfully, whether you were doing it on purpose or whether it just happened. Who knows? Maybe somebody who's listening to me right now today, you'll do something that you thought was innocuous and would just come and go, but you go viral. Now everybody's talking about you. Everybody's looking at your page. Everybody's paying attention to you. Now you have all this attention. How can you actually convert that attention into some revenue for yourself? That is the idea that got sparked in seeing these people out here. So whether you garner attention purposely or unintentionally, let's talk about that. Point number one, topic once again, is how to turn attention into revenue. First thing you must do, and you could do this before or after you've garnered the attention. Ideally, you probably do it before so that you already have a plan in place here, like we talked about in the sales funnel episode, is identify a problem that you can solve for the people who are paying attention to you. So a couple things you can answer in order to address that. First of all, who are the people who are paying attention to you? Maybe you will have an idea who they are. What's some common theme that these people have? Do they all need something to drink because it's hot outside and you're offering a cold beverage? Are they all looking at you because you're a girl and they're all heterosexual men interested in an attractive female? What is it about you that causes them to pay attention? Or what is it about them, rather, that causes them to pay attention to you? And also what it is about you. So you got to identify what problem it is you can solve or that you are solving for the people who are paying attention. What exactly do they need? Again, in the context of what it is that you're offering, because every human being, we probably all need a whole lot of things. You probably are not going to supply all of them, but what exactly do they need in the context of their engagement with you? Maybe at first you might not quite know what it is that they need based on, again, how they came to engage with you. And you'll have to try some things out, maybe ask some questions. And if you ask them, they will tell you. And that's a good thing to do, is ask them. Now, asking the right question matters more than just getting any answer. I did a whole masterclass just on that topic alone. Let me tell you what number that was. But asking the right question is almost more important these days than even getting any answer. Because any answer, I mean, people will tell you anything. There's a lot of things going on in all of our heads, but we need the right question to the right answer. The right answer to the right question, rather. That was episode 1741. Why asking the right question is more important than the answer. So you got to identify a problem that you can, or that you are, or that you could solve for the people who are paying attention to you. What do they need? Ask them, they'll tell you. Ask the right question, they'll tell you. Maybe you can have multiple things to offer and they'll have to try some different things out. All right, maybe I like the orange, maybe I like the red, maybe I like the blue. They can try different things out and see what works for them. Maybe you could just bring people into your world, whether that's through getting them on an email list, whether it's getting them to follow you on social media, whether it's getting them to whatever it is that you're doing. Maybe you're going to be outside every single day and they'll see you all the time. You need to do something that will bring people into your world, and from there, you can build and nurture that relationship. And nurturing a relationship simply means you just continue to engage with folks. You might not be selling them anything. They're not trying to buy anything, at least not at that moment, and you're not selling anything at that moment, but the relationship can be built through the engagement, through whatever it is that you're sharing. So right now, you listening to the show is a nurturing of the relationship. I'm not asking you to buy anything. You're not asking to be sold anything, but we are building. When I send you an email, when I put a video on YouTube, when I post something on Instagram, all I'm doing is nurturing that relationship. So you can do that, have people into your world, and now as they get to know you a little bit better, you'll learn more about them, they'll learn more about you, and then maybe you'll be more clued in as to how exactly you could help these people, what problem it is you could solve, because now you know them a lot better. I'll tell you an example coming from my own self. When I first got to be known online, I was making these YouTube basketball videos, and the videos started to draw an audience. And it was only after years of doing so, putting the videos out and the audience slowly building, that I identified that there was a need that I could help fulfill. And that the way that I came to know what need I could fulfill was just through engaging with my audience, through building this relationship. So I would put the videos out, I would read the comments, I would reply to the comments, and I saw the kind of questions that people were asking. I noticed that the common challenges that kept coming up over and over again from the players who were watching my videos. And eventually someone gave me a really good idea. So why don't you just take the workouts that you do and just put them in a format that other people can follow your workouts. And I started making programs based off that very idea, and then I started selling them. That's how I got into entrepreneurship. So that's how I built an audience, started to get known online, and got into entrepreneurship, all through one specific thing that I was doing, and one specific strategy, rather, putting the material out. And then the tactics within that strategy was read the comments, reply to the comments, answer the questions that people are asking, note what people are saying over and over again. So I had a pretty good idea of exactly what my audience wanted. So it was after years of doing that that I could identify their needs, and then I could also fulfill them. So keep in mind, as I just explained there, you don't need to go straight into selling people something when you have someone's attention. You don't need to go straight from attention to sales if you're not sure what to sell yet. However, when you do have people's attention, one thing that you do want to do is make sure that you are starting the relationship. You need to somehow create a way that they can stay in touch and that you can stay in touch so that you can build that relationship. You don't want people to pay attention to you and even get value from you in the moment, but then you don't have a way to follow up on that relationship and continue to build it moving forward. It's kind of like if you meet a nice guy or girl and you go out on a date with them and y'all both have a great time, and then y'all just part ways and you don't have their phone number, you don't have their name, you don't have their email address, you have no idea where to find them at ever again. And you're like, wait a minute, everything went great here, but I don't have any way to follow up on the situation. So you want to make sure you're not making that mistake once you do have people's attention. So if you plan on getting people's attention, you're about to do something to intentionally draw attention, or you have a reason to believe that attention is going to come your way, or you're just out there, you're really trying to get attention, make sure you have a way, a simple, easy way for people to go from paying attention to you to coming into your world that allows you and them to stay in touch with each other. All right, the last thing you want is to get a bunch of attention and then just let it all slip through your fingers like a spaghetti strainer. Point number 2, today's topic once again is how to turn attention into revenue. Make clear how your solution, whatever it happens to be, is better than your audience's current option or options. How does what you offer improve on the silence of the situation that they're in right now, the status quo that they're dealing with right now? Maybe they have already read a bunch of books on mindset. How is your book on mindset going to be better than what they've already read? Maybe they have already tried hiring a bunch of personal trainers and none of those trainers help them get in shape and lose these 30 pounds that they've been trying to lose since high school. How is your training going to help them do it since nobody else's training has been able to do it? Maybe they've listened to a bunch of podcasts on relationships. How is your podcast on relationships going to be any different from the experiences that they've already had? They listen to a bunch of them, they still having relationship issues, they still can't find the right guy or girl. What's yours is going to do different from what they've already tried to do up to this point? Make it clear how your solution improves on the current status quo. This is your job. This is really part of the sales job. But again, since you have people's attention, now you're already into the marketing process. So marketing is the bridge between attention and sales, by the way. Didn't say that earlier, but it is, just in case you didn't know. Make clear what your solution is and what it does. Usually, when people are looking at your solution, whatever your solution happens to be, or they're looking at you and maybe you want them to start considering you as a possible solution, understand that you're not the first thing that they have considered. You're not the first person that they have looked at. You are not the first option that they have ever thought of before in their lives. If you are, then it's usually not the position that you want to be in, because usually humans, we will look around at least a couple options before we make a decision. What about you and your solution makes it the best option for them at this time, and why? These are questions that you want to answer. You want to supply the question and supply the answer for them. How can you solve their problems better than their other choices can solve their problems? And understanding, keeping in mind that one of your audience's choices always is to do nothing. And the people who are in your audience and are considering engaging with your solution could ultimately decide, no, I'm just not going to do anything at all in this moment. So you need to answer not only is why your solution better than their other options of doing something, but also why is your solution better than the option of not doing anything at all and just maintaining the status quo. Answering these questions is part of your sales and marketing process. Ideally, you answer this before they even need to bring it up. You basically handled the objection before it even becomes an objection. So you should think on this. This is part of your operating procedure based on what we talked about yesterday. It's part of your organization and figuring out. It's also part of your urgency and figuring out, okay, here are the other options that our ideal clients and customers have. Why is what we are going to offer better than these options? When you have that answer, then you can just give them that answer right up front before they even bring it up, because they're thinking it even if they don't say it. Point number 3, today's topic once again is how to turn attention into revenue. Third thing you got to do, if you couldn't guess, you got to sell something. Now it's time for you to sell. It's time for you to close. Not just sell, which is sharing the virtues of your offering so that they understand how good you are, but then to close. In other words, get them to agree. You're going to give them something, they're going to give you something. So make them an offer, and you're asking for the exchange. So here's what I have, here's what it's going to do for you, here's how you get it. Now, here's what I have is this personal training package. Here's how you get it is you pay me $100 a session for 30 sessions. Here's what it's going to do for you. It's going to help you lose that 30 pounds you've been trying to lose for the last 20 years. Here's how you get it. You go to this website, or you pull out your credit card and we'll do it right here, or you open up your Cash app and you can send me the money right now. Here's how you get it. And after that, after all that happens and the transaction is consummated, Now, remember what we talked about in yesterday's masterclass. Now you have to deliver. Now you got to make sure that you are actually good. Now you need to be consistent. So the first 3 workouts were great. You can't be trash the next 3 workouts. You got to be good every workout. Why? Because somebody has paid you now. Now they have a certain expectation of what you're going to deliver. And depending on how you sold it, you need to make sure you live up to every single thing you told them they were going to get. You need to make sure you're giving it to them. This is a repeatable process. Again, see the episode that I did on sales funnels where I explained to you how you're doing this over and over and over again. This is not something that you do just one time. This is something that you do over and over again. Episode 1896, where I explain the 6 phases of the sales funnel. Is you're continually bringing people in. As long as you're delivering on that back end at the end, the bottom of your funnel, and you're getting people the results that they want, their word of mouth will help spread other people to know about you, will help spread you to other people for other people to know about you, and it will help you keep your funnel filled up, and thusly you'll keep making money, people will keep getting results, and it's a win-win situation. So you can have people at every stage of your process at all times. This is the overall strategy of what you want to do. Now, there are many tactics in between this that we could get into. We didn't get into tactics here today. What we've really been talking about is strategy, because the tactics are interchangeable as to how to incorporate them. All right, how can you get attention from people? I mean, there are a million different ways to get attention. So we're not going to go into every single one of them here in this masterclass, but understand the strategy of, all right, once you do have some attention, here are the things that you need to do with it. Now, if you want some help in getting attention, then what you need to do is reach out to me. What you need to do is go to workonyourgameuniversity.com, click the button, fill out the short form, and you can get on a call with me and we can talk about what exactly you're offering, how you want to offer it, who you want to help, or what kind of attention you're looking for, what kind of attention you have already, what you don't have, what's the bridge between the two, and how do we close that gap. I can tell you exactly how I can help you and tell you how you could possibly join university or join my 3rd-day mastermind. Again, go to workonyourgameuniversity.com, or you can send me a text, and I'll tell you that number in a moment. Let's first recap today's class, which is how to turn attention into revenue. I see people often doing things these days, and I think all of us do, and maybe you're one of them, doing things to draw attention to ourselves, to get people to notice us, pay attention to our offerings, pay attention to our products and our services and our ideas, whatever it is we're putting out there. This is a good thing. Attention is a good thing. Attention is one of our 5 forms of investment, of time, money, attention, energy, and focus. However, we need to be able to turn this attention into something tangible. We don't just want everybody paying attention, but then we can't get the ROI from that attention, especially if you're someone who has some serious, tangible value to offer the world, or you want to be able to turn that attention into something, right? So this is how you do it, what we're talking about here today. This is the overall strategy. Number 1, identify a problem that you can solve for the people who are noticing you, people who are paying attention. What do they need? Maybe you don't know. You might have to try some things out. Maybe you can ask them. They'll tell you. Maybe you have multiple things to offer and you'll have to let them try out more than one. Maybe just bring them into your world and slowly build a relationship, which is what I did when I first got started as an entrepreneur. I built a relationship by bringing people into my world, and by talking to them, engaging with them, I learned what their challenges were. So then when I finally did make them an offer, I knew I was hitting that nail on the head. I knew I was hitting the target right in the bullseye because I was already talking to these people. You don't have to do it that way, but that is one way that you can do it. Either way, you need a way to bring people into your world so that you can continue that relationship and you can nurture the relationship while at the same time you are learning exactly what they need, so that when you do make an offer, you know you made the right one. Point number 2. Make clear how your solution is better than the current options. Current options are all your competitors, and also current option is to stand pat, the status quo, to do absolutely nothing. That is an option for people at all times. So make sure you answer these questions as part of your sales process before they even ask you. Number 3, sell, close, make them an offer. Here's what I have. Here's what's going to do for you. Here's how you get it. And then once you make that close and they have agreed, now you got to make sure you deliver. Make sure you are just as good as what you said you were. Make sure you help people get results. When you help people get results, they will tell other people about you, and that word of mouth brings warm leads into your funnel, and warm leads go through the funnel much more smoothly and much more quickly than a cold lead. Not that a cold lead can't go through your funnel, but a warm lead goes through much faster because they already have the built-in know, like, and trust, even if they don't know you, because someone who they do know, like, and trust already knows you and they said great things about you. So this is why you want to make sure every person who does come into your world gets great results, because they will do better marketing for you than any advertisement you could ever possibly run or any piece of content you could ever possibly make. And this is a repeatable process. Again, see episode 1896 on the 6 phases of the sales funnel. So you can have people at every step of your process at all times so that you are consistently generating results for people, and consistently, of course, you're going to be getting the ROI. In other words, usually that'll be in the form of money. So this is the overall strategy of what you want to do. The tactics are interchangeable, of course, as to how to incorporate them. I can help you with this. Send me a text at 305-384-6894 if you want to get on a call with me to help, and I can tell you how I can help you out with that. Or same way, you can go to workonyourgameuniversity.com, click on the button, fill out a short form, and we will schedule a time for us to get on the call and talk about how I could possibly help you moving forward, whether that be with your business, your personal development, professional development. That's what we're doing at the 3rd Day Mastermind, again, which is at workonyourgameuniversity.com. Work on your game. Dre all day.